Today in Hartford, it's all about education intervention, budget crises, and leadership change. This is Dean Bark. Welcome to the City Report with Dean Bark, Hartford edition. Let's kick things off with a bang. Connecticut State intervenes in Bridgeport schools amid budget and leadership crisis. All right, here's where we begin. The Connecticut Board of Education has stepped in. A spotlight on Bridgeport Public Schools' $38 million budget deficit and leadership conflicts. Serious business, isn't it? Part of the intervention, a technical assistance team, training for the Bridgeport Board of Education, and more state control over hiring a permanent superintendent. Royce Avery, our interim superintendent, seems on board. Local opinion, though, like a family dinner debate, divided. Bridgeport schools educate 19,600 students. 92% are high needs. On top of that, there's a systemic shortage of special education staff. Expired COVID relief funds are a pesky thorn in the side. When you rely on temporary patches, those holes don't stay sealed for long. State intervention seems like a necessary measure. Ignoring these issues isn't an option. Now let's pivot to the next story. Leadership change. Interim Superintendent Royce Avery takes over amidst turmoil and uncertainty. Royce Avery took over in November 2024 after Superintendent Carmela Levy-David took a leave. Now Avery's the fifth superintendent in 7 years. 5 in 7 years? We call that a revolving door. Leadership instability here isn't just a disruption, it's undermining educational goals. In a community with 16,800 students qualifying for free or reduced lunch and 5,500 English language learners, we can't afford these setbacks. This leadership carousel is more than a hiccup. Call it a full-blown crisis. And now, shifting gears to the funding dilemma. Budget deficit looms over education. $38 million shortfall sparks state oversight. This $38 million deficit was predicted way back in June 2024. Intervention dictates the state must now greenlight any financial decisions. Meanwhile, special education staff are about as rare as hen's teeth, with 31 vacancies. COVID relief was a band-aid on a gaping wound. And when that band-aid was peeled away, well, let's just say, ouch. Precarious position indeed. That reliance on temporary funds isn't a sustainable solution. Moving on, we're talking management, state intervention, balancing act between autonomy and oversight. This intervention shines a light on the dance between state and local control. It's a complicated waltz of necessity and efficiency. But local opinions are as split as a banana. Some agree, some find it distasteful. Widespread compliance issues, especially in special education, underscore the need for balance. Without intervention, some necessary reforms might just gather dust indefinitely. All right, last but not least, special education, Bridgeport staffing crisis and student needs. Special education staffing gaps have real consequences, affecting 4,000 students with disabilities. These understaffed classrooms are more than just an inconvenience. They're an educational obstacle, one that thousands of students have to scale daily. Financial constraints choke off resources, but it takes more than money to fix this. Holistic strategies, those are key. Investment in special education ensures fair access to learning isn't just wishful thinking. And that's your report for today. Thanks for tuning in to the City Report with Dean Bark in Hartford. Have a great day, and catch us here again tomorrow.